Hail and well met, everyone. Good to see you back here again with us, your intrepid adventurers and dungeon master, storyteller, guide, and follower for Severed Threads, Notes from the Black Ballad. The Black Ballad, of course, being the fantastic module written and produced by Storytellers Forge. They are also the producer of this Twitch stream, and we're very, very grateful for them and to them. We're having a blast with this module, in case you haven't noticed. And the really good news is that there is more coming from Storytellers Forge. If you like this, you could certainly pick it up from them, but you can also pick up their newest edition, a little thing called Festivals of the Forgotten, Revelations of the Dark Carnival. Sort of a evil circus carnival vibe with some really fantastic villains. So look for that. Link in the chat, of course. Also, big thank you to Diamorte, led by the intrepid Drake, who have provided the music for this stream. This is music that inspired and was inspired by the module. So it has a special meaning and chosen with care. And is pretty kick-ass too. If you enjoy our character art, then you have the amazing Kai to thank for that. I know she watches, so everybody say hi, Kai. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but I think tonight is the night, Jesse, as we are going to reveal the latest full body art for your character, Dawn. So here it comes. Hey.
I love her so much. It's so good.
So pretty.
I love the fact that the thread theme is continuing through it, and can't wait to see them all lined up in a row someday. But thank you, Kai. Thanks for being amazing and sharing your incredible gifts with us. Before we get started, I'm going to ask another random question, just sort of a quick response for you all. I think this is actually already discussed off camera a little bit, but favorite class that you've always wanted to play but never have? Let's start with Samus.
I've played every class, but I think the class that I've played the least and want to spend more time with is the Artificer. It's a little daunting with the amount of choices, and I have analysis paralysis, so I think it would be good practice for me.
Well, maybe. It's also the one that I have the least amount of experience with, so well, something for the future, perhaps. Soku.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the class is, that's like the Blood Letter.
The Blood Hunter.
Blood Hunter.
You always wanted to play Blood Hunter.
Yeah.
That's a very controversial class, but I know a lot of people who enjoy it. It has to do with the fact that you use your own hit points to power your abilities. Yeah. It'd be really dangerous, especially at low levels. Tess?
Mm-hmm. I have always been too intimidated to play a straight up wizard with, the squishy and the preparing spells and all of that. I just don't. I'm too scared, but I love magic, so I want to.
That's what wizards is. With the squishy and the spells, it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
And let's see here, Ryan.
Truth be told, I haven't delved into like
Ryan
sorcerer
or
he's
frozen. We will come back to Ryan. Let us ask Jesse.
I have also played every class, but the one I've played the least but want to play more of is a sorcerer. I think there would be a lot of really fun RP with a sorcerer. So I'd like to actually do a campaign as a sorcerer, not just a one-shot.
Very good. As a DM, of course, the character that I most want to play is the one in which I'm not the DM, but I like DMing as well. Brian, what an unfortunately banal expression that's been captured on your face for this.
He's just thinking really hard.
Yeah. Are you with us, Ryan? No. Oh, unfortunate. Well, we'll
Internet.
hope for the best. Yeah, it's not much we can do. Just the internet. We'll have him in when we can. But all that being done, I think it is now time. So, my friends, I extend my hand inviting you to step with me into fantasy. Release your hold on that which you know to be true and
imagination rule for the next few hours.
He said
Okay.
it. He said, yeah. He said that thing.
I say it every time.
But
Last
And we get excited every time.
time on Severed Threads, Notes from the Black Ballad, the adventurers had a conversation with death, not the god of death, the embodiment and manifestation of the very concept of death. They wanted death to end resurrection magic, the ability to use necrotic magic to bring things back from the dead, raise dead, animate dead, all of the various creatures that have the ability to create undead from a recently deceased corpse. They wanted an end to all of it because that is their hope, that in ending that, and also their counterparts who are speaking to the domain of life, that if all resurrection magic is ended, that it will stem the tide of the scarlet malice, this blight that is infecting the souls that come to the Sunless Crossing and threaten to overwhelm. After an extremely poignant and well-reasoned plea from Nile, and a very good roll, I might add, Death agreed, although Death did warn them that the deities that found that they could no longer access this aspect of the domain of death would not be pleased with them and might seek retribution. After leaving the domain of death, the adventurers continued through the Storm of Broken Worlds, re-encountering Jasper, who now in a skeletal dragon form was most incensed that they did not want to play a game of teeth with him and began to attack them, breathing a horrid breath weapon of writhing and clattering teeth that caused a great deal of grief. But when they did finally agree to play teeth, it turned out that Jasper wasn't actually sure how to play teeth. It turns out that not many people want to play teeth with him for some reason.
Wonder why.
Wynn was able to trick him into thinking that he had lost, and as such, he owed them a favor and showed them a way quickly out of the Sunless Cross, out of the Storm of Broken Worlds and back to the Sunless Cross.
I just love him.
As they traveled back to the Onyx Requiem, they spoke some more with Magen, who was very pleased that their efforts had been successful. But upon returning to the Onyx Requiem, they discovered that their counterparts in the domain of life had not succeeded. And therefore, while perhaps slowed, the Scarlet Malice is not stopped. And as such, the party is still looking for a way to end this blight upon the Sunless Crossing. They spoke with Valen the Jade, the arbiter of the Godless Monarchy, to determine what possible strategies could be used to defend the city as the members of the Accursed Guard and the Legionnaires continue to encroach and threaten to overwhelm the Nixian Guard. But they were also asked to visit with Ashlyn, the Sovereign, privately, discovering her somewhat manic, actually, in terms of her attitude, as if somebody who's been kept awake for a very long time and ruminating over this problem, what to do. She seems to have a solution, however. She has asked the adventurers to make their way to the Road to Eternity, and speak with the various leaders of the temples that can be found there, hopefully gain divine boons. With these divine boons, Ashlyn hopes to do a ritual that will resurrect Nixia, the goddess who long ago sacrificed herself so that the Sunless Crossing could exist, hopefully with a resurrected Nixia an end to the Scarlet Malice can be found. And that is where we find our adventurers now, leaving the Onyx Requiem and contemplating the road to eternity. You see rising up in the middle of it the great Etherwood, or the Etherwood. Here's the joke. Etherwood is where you find the Ether Bunny. Knew it was coming, so
That's where he lives.
right. So
We should really leave
I'm
that
so
joke alone.
excited.
In this world, it's not the Etherwood; it is the Etherwood. There we go. We've solved that problem just like that. As you step onto the stones of the road to eternity, it's painfully obvious to you why this spot is both the literal and proverbial heart and soul of the Sunless Crossing. You see beautiful and terrible temples, each one an architectural wonder in its own right, that loom around the outer perimeter of this road. There's a pond in the center, and out of which grows the Etherwood. It has a somewhat luminescent effect, and yes, this incredibly tall tree that has a ephemeral quality to it as well, directly underneath the maelstrom that roils in the sky, which you now know is the Storm of Broken Worlds. Seems to reflect it in a bizarre sort of way. But looking at all these temples, it's hard to know where to begin. But begin you must. What do you do, friends?
Panic?
Panic? That's
Does anybody have an idea? Does anybody have an idea where they are already going?
I mean, we should probably focus on gods that have a stronger connection to this place than somebody, because like Azuz has a temple, but you saw how small it is in comparison to some of the other ones here. Something a little more tied to this place might help better with saving this place.
Keep in mind, Azuz is a perfectly legitimate deity. There are sort of umbrella deities that will encompass a lot of smaller ones that have similar tenets. I've spoken before, there's one central area of the sun, which is the temple of the sun, but there are parts of this temple that are devoted to all of the various deities of the sun. So same thing with...
Focusing on more umbrella might be better?
Perhaps.
Perhaps we should speak to someone who can tell us of our options.
I would ask
I know.
Ashlyn, but she's not in a good place and needs to rest.
I'm actually thinking of someone who we may need to reintroduce.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, we know where he is, so... Well,
We could go
know
find
he's-
Corcoran.
Oh.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
and when I look at Jack with like a question in my eye, and he nods, and I understand that I don't understand.
He's been really helpful since, like, he's answered a bunch of questions. He answered a bunch of questions about Magen earlier, so maybe he knows, can direct us.
For what it's worth, Wynn, the bond that you had seemed genuine, and
Just want to check in here.
I don't think
Does
there's-
anybody know that, other than Jack, that Wynn cannot remember Corcoran?
Oh, right. Yes,
did that conversation not happen in public?
I don't think it
that's
did.
right,
She
it
ad-
didn't.
Now, it's all right if you
That's a
wanted to
good
share
point.
it in the meantime, Wynn, but
I highly doubt I would have kept that.
fair enough.
It's not an embarrassing.
Okay, but if
yeah.
we're being completely honest, I absolutely would have shared that with everyone.
Yeah.
So that's just been,
Of all the people to, hey, Jack, I have this super intense secret.
Yeah,
Can you
absolutely.
keep this? Sure. I'm 100% great
absolutely.
at that.
Oh my god, Dusk and Dawn, come here right now.
100%.
She literally just told you the secret. You're going to tell it back to her?
So, Corcoran Petalmoss hangs his hat, if he wore one, at the Temple of Tongues. If you Okay, fine.
God, they even took his hat. You bastards! All right.
Hey! Wasn't it?
Temple of
Yes.
Tongues. Okay.
I say that's where we start.
I think that makes sense because
There better not be a
Spend a lot.
game of tongues because that's a little bit harder than Keith.
George R.R. Martin's lesser-known work.
a game of teeth and tongues.
I think I accidentally started watching that series. Very different turn.
Okay.
Okay, I think we go looking for Corcoran.
All right, so you make your way to the Temple of Tongues. It is not too far away. The city of Noctivalar is not that large compared to other
That's right.
cities.
Past the lips,
Right.
the teeth.
So it's a fairly simple structure, but full of monks, essentially, and sages, and fuller now as everyone who can find a place to take refuge out of the street to avoid running into a cursed guard, legionnaires, or just being in the way of the Nixian guard, has found shelter wherever they can. You do find Corcoran Pebblemoss sitting next to a possibly large stack of books, trying to keep his beard out of the ink as he's painstakingly translating several texts at once, going back. Loxodon, Ross. As he sees you all coming, he looks up and says, "Oh, good to see you all. You've been gone some time."
Why, hello, Corcoran Pebblemoss, whom we all know and remember.
Jack.
That was
What?
so weird.
I was just trying to make sure that
Hi,
we could
Corcoran.
just flagging him for everybody.
We had
It's fine.
We did have a little bit of a task, but we're back now.
Yes, I recall you were heading into grave danger, but I'm relieved to see that you're all returned. Hello, Win.
Hello.
Is there something I can help with you? Help you with a translation or anything like that?
We came to seek
Well,
your
funny you
knowledge.
should ask. Exactly.
Oh, well, Win will attest. In my life, I was a well-respected sage on a variety of topics, but here in Sundays Crossing, I'm but one of a number of very learned individuals. I'm flattered that you seek me out, and if there's something I can do to help, by all means, let me know.
We're searching for what would be the main umbrella deities and the main places that you would go to seek different powers that would be
Yes.
useful from each of the different gods.
So not the god of umbrellas. Just making sure.
Is there one?
No.
Possibly, but
Off topic.
I believe it is our Lord and Savior Parasol.
that's clever. So, deities that would seem to have influence over other deities is what you are asking about. As far as what is represented here,
Hmm.
Or if there were like larger aspects of gods, like do they get sort of sectioned off into regions or traits? Like here's all the dead gods, here's all the sun gods. here's all-
yes,
that would
actually.
have a very strong connection to this realm.
And all the deities that are connected to realms that are connected to this one are represented on the road to eternity. But if you are asking about the ones that are the most influential, I would have to
Yes.
say the sun, obviously, and the moon. God of death here is an individual known as the Marquis. If you are looking for a deity of knowledge, which of course is one that I'm particularly fond of, you want to visit the Academician. He has a temple here. War is represented by a number of deities, but Invaz seems to have a great deal of influence as far as that is concerned. If you're looking for Dawn, as I understand you are a cleric of Azuth, following the domain of regret, correct?
Correct.
Well, then, you might want to see Contrict at the Abbey of Reflection. Sorry. Yes, Abbey of Reflection, that's correct. I am very fond of the goddess Jodine. She is the goddess of wish, quite powerful, but very understated. I appreciate that in a deity. You would do well to seek her out. I mentioned death, the Marquis. I think those would be the biggest ones. Of course, there is the deity known as Xavier, god of purgation. Strange individual, but has a great deal of control over a domain of envy. Far more powerful than you might expect. But those are places to start as far as trying to get access to the deities that have the most influence. More of a matter of opinion and perspective, I suppose, more than actual influence.
That has been very helpful. There's just a lot on the road to eternity, and we were hoping to get a little bit of a narrowed down list.
Indeed. As I always say, Win, how does one eat an elephant?
With
a fork.
No, Win. No, one bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry. I'm not really feeling myself lately.
Oh, understood.
It was a rough trip.
I'm going to pull Win aside and just say under my breath, it's not my place. But if you've lost a part of yourself, perhaps being honest with him will help you find it.
She nods, maybe not in agreement, but at least in consideration.
Well, is there anything else I could help you with?
Is there a god of dreams?
Not precisely. Majin you have met. Majin would be an embodiment of the domain of dreams. But I don't know that they are worshipped in the same way a deity would be.
I see.
I've never heard of anyone worshipping Majin, at any rate.
I know of someone.
Oh!
Same here. I mean, what?
It's not worship.
Same thing.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not. It's not worship if I want them to put their boot on my neck.
I beg your pardon. Oh.
I'm sorry. What?
Huh?
Sorry, Corcoran. That was crass of Jack. Thank you very much.
Oh, I didn't know that god. Which one was that?
That was
Crass?
that was
Which
very
one is-
helpful. Thank you very much for the information. I think that you've helped us narrow down our list.
Knowledge is power.
Yes.
Right, Win?
Absolutely.
The answer is yes. Oh,
No,
good.
the answer is the reverse is seldom true. You really aren't feeling yourself, Win. I hope there's nothing wrong with you. I do not believe it's possible for the dead to get sick, but certainly depressed.
I'm... And everyone can see her about to say it, and then I'm going to be fine.
Win,
It was a stressful trip.
would you mind stepping a little
I need some
closer,
sleep.
please?
I do. She steps forward.
Moving surprisingly fast for an old gnome, Corcoran throws a book from his table at you. And before you can think, you turn incorporeal, and the book moves right through you and clatters onto the ground behind you. You see...
Where did it go through?
Just right center mass.
I grab it where it should have been, thinking that my hand will go through or something.
Doesn't seem to work that way. But you see surprise,
This is,
and then...
DM, this is shocking
Yes.
to me too,
Yes,
right?
indeed.
Yes.
Corcoran's eyes widen and then narrow, and then understanding begins to creep across his face.
Yes. There's a great deal of unraveling going on.
Sorry, I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't want you to feel and lost.
You are doing. I know you win, and I know that with the trouble that is besetting us, you will put yourself directly on the path to see its end. I will be patient and look forward to getting reacquainted. But you need to focus on the task at hand. And reminiscing about our friendship is counterproductive, I think, at least at this moment. Let's have it something we can look forward to, eh?
I'm sorry.
There's no apology
It's not your fault.
necessary.
She nods and... what? Why did that go through me? And that's just happens now?
You are beginning to unravel when you are losing yourself. Souls here in the Sunless Crossing are made up of mostly memory, and as you suffer harm and die, it becomes harder and harder to remember all of yourself, and it will manifest in various ways. Some might actually be useful, such as the ability to move through objects and have objects move through you. But there are also costs. Will not be useful. Could, in fact, be absolutely devastating.
What happens to you if you fully unravel? Do you move on, or do you just cease to exist?
I wish I knew the answer to that. I do know that some of the most horrible creatures that plague the Ashen Fields were once individuals who found themselves unraveling. From what I gather, many of the Legionnaires and Accursed Guard have died so many times that they have unraveled to the point of barely being able to remember what they are fighting for in the first place. I believe they are supplementing themselves with souls that they encounter and then feed upon, making up for the deficiencies in their own memory by taking those from others.
Is there a less toxic way for Wynn to restore herself?
I hope so, Niall, but I don't know. It's not something I have given much thought to, I'm afraid. But perhaps now I shall.
Thank you. We are, frankly, lost if we don't have her by our side. We've already experienced that
The
once.
fact that she is here and trying means that most of her remains. So, there's that.
Well, she's the strongest person I've ever met, so I believe
Likewise.
she can withstand.
You see her start to get pretty uncomfortable. and
Who
doesn't-
takes
also
compliments?
tracks.
Who takes compliments really poorly?
Oh, I think we should move along. I appreciate all your kind words.
Well, good luck.
Thank you, Corcoran.
Thank you.
Back to translation.
And so, now with, I hope, a list of deities that you could possibly look into. This is not the whole list by any means. If you look hard enough, you will be able to find any deity that you want. And you will make the DM squirm as he tries to look up and find the obscure deity that you have chosen. And oh yeah, absolutely, I've got reams of notes for that. But please,
That's my favorite hobby.
yeah, I know it is.
Okay, so we have some choices to make.
Just before we do that, when we leave Corcoran's, I purposefully wait and let the door shut
Okay.
behind everyone and go last and then walk through. And I assume it is successful.
Yes, it is 100% successful. You have the ability to.
What does it?
What does it feel like?
Yes.
I would think that, at least on some level, it's exhilarating. All of us in our corporeal forms are almost defined by what we can feel and what we can touch, but also how it contains us. Knowing that you are not contained by these structures anymore is liberating. However, I would think it's also terrifying and confusing.
Right.
As you stand and think about it, you find your armor beginning to sink through your body as
That was my next question. Is it like just I make a choice and I get to do it, or does it have like if I go to sit down in a chair, could it go poorly if I'm not thinking about it?
it's probably going to be something you need to get some used to. Here is one thing, however. As I recall, your armor was one of the items that you arrived in the Sunless Crossing with, correct?
Correct.
In that case, it doesn't actually sink through you. It is attached to your soul, and as such, it is also ethereal.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's part of that memory that is now fading. Crazy.
So wait, I'm sorry.
I hope
It
it
does
still
or
is
it does
It does
not.
not. It phases with you. So
Yeah.
it is as solid or as insolid as you are
Yeah.
at any given moment. It doesn't. You don't ever have to worry
Got it.
about like floating out of it.
Got it.
But does that mean that if she tries to phase through something, does her Nixian blade not go with her?
We could get pretty complicated with this, but I think for the purposes of the game, we will say it goes with her.
It's,
Yeah, I was gonna
you
say.
guys, it's like
I mean, like how
werewolf
Kitty,
rules.
Yes,
how
how
Kitty
exactly.
Pryde X-Men are we
Werewolf
doing
rules,
this?
100%.
Yeah.
where they always have pants somehow when they turn back into people.
Yeah.
It's that.
Thank goodness.
Solid.
Got it.
Or not. It's your choice.
Why don't you fall through the ground?
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah,
Stop
just-
asking
let's
good
start-
questions.
We're done. We're done. I can move through walls, guys. Get over it.
That's crazy.
Well, it will at least be useful, even if it's not technically good.
Yeah, think of all the goo you could have escaped.
Oh,
Mm.
maybe I should get unraveled.
No. I've already told you you're not
Now
allowed to die again.
When you
Just think about it this way. Now you don't have to suffer another hug.
yeah,
Oh,
good luck,
that's-
Dawn.
Wonderful.
John immediately
Wait.
tries to hug you.
I've had an opportunity to see.
wait. I want to hear what Niall has to say.
I've seen you fight for quite a while now. You are fearless, and you are also somewhat reckless. In life, you had a borderline death wish, and that has carried into your fighting style down here. I think you may need to tactically be a bit more cautious if we find ourselves
Stop
in battle
dying.
again.
I understand why you say these things, and you are not wrong.
I'll take it.
I'll do my best to protect you.
Well, we all
Well,
should make sure.
Sometimes I get separated from you.
On a lighter note, does anybody have any idea where they want to go now?
did anyone hear something that spoke to them?
I think for me, regret kind of was my initial instinct. But I already receive boons from Azuth, and I've already learned how to take that emotion and turn it around and try to turn it into positive. Use that emotion most people see as negative and enact change with it. I'm not gonna lie, there was a second negative emotion listed in there, envy, and I kind of am curious if I can find a way to take that and turn it into a strength as well.
Sounds reasonable.
That doesn't sound like an easy one.
I don't think any of them are particularly easy,
How
Dusk.
hard can knowledge be?
Yeah.
And also,
For you, impossible.
anything easy's not really worth it, I think, sometimes. Like, it's not... When you have to try for something, that's when it is the most impactful. So, I don't know. Obviously, regret would make sense for me, but I already know what I can do with regret, and I would be interesting to see what I can do with envy.
Okay.
What about you, Niall? I imagine when I heard the Marquis, I was like, oh, that's definitely the guy Niall's going for.
I think we kind of have to. Frankly, if what the essence of death said is true, they're going to be furious with us, and I feel like I might be the best person poised to tell them why we made the decision we did. Might be a little bit presumptuous to ask a favor or a boon from them, but I'm not afraid to pay my comeuppance for the decisions we made.
Well, I mean, if they are at all connected to the, the essence of death, then they might respect you.
We shall see.
You certainly did an amazing job when we went to the plane,
Needs must.
someone might say.
When?
What about you, Jack?
Ooh, tough one. I'll be honest, I was really intrigued by Jodine, the idea of the god of wish. Wishes are powerful things. But knowledge is power, or so Corcoran said. Those are the two that are jumping out at me right now. I'm a little upset there's not a god of music, or it just didn't seem to be any sort of razzle-dazzle to these. It's all
razzle-dazzle.
I mean, some cultures pass their knowledge on through song and music instead of through books and such. So stories and music is how they pass the knowledge. So that might make sense for you.
I knew there was a reason I liked you, Dawn.
It's because she's wonderful.
Outside of your terrible taste in men
Amen to that.
or beans.
Were you drawn to anything?
I have plenty of regret. I'm happy to use it for the greater good.
And you've technically talked to a god of regret in
True.
the temple.
Dusk, your thoughts? What little you have.
Maybe then I won't share. We'll just see how it goes.
Well, you're going to tell me, though, right? Tusk, you have to tell me. Who are you going to do? I think
The most powerful sorceress in the world!
there was Wish and War. Are you going to do one of those?
Ooh.
DM, do I remember, did Invar's intrude, actually say what their name was to me?
I do not believe they did. So you would have
Okay.
you would not be connecting that name with the individual you met in the alleyway. But we'll just have to.
This when they were aggressively people watching, when she was aggressive.
No,
Before.
season 1.
This was
Season 1.
way back in the annals of season 1.
I mean, you're
This
always.
is where we do jump cut to season 1.
I mean,
And we're back.
you are wishing to bring your god back, but you always kind of seem to be. You're always healing and hurting at the same time, two things that are at war with each other. Either makes sense for you.
I don't know. Yeah.
There's poetry in that.
I guess I will gravitate towards war, which doesn't seem to be. I waste no time with that.
Understated god doesn't really say dusk from your outfit from the party. You tend to be a little flashier, if we're entirely
I mean,
honest.
just look at the wings. Come on.
Yeah, so understated so that's why war might make more sense, because Corcoran seemed really impressed with the understated part of Jodine, and that might not speak to you as much.
Yeah, no.
When in doubt, go with aesthetic.
I mean, there's also, I'm hoping that
the
it'll be
strangest thing
something
for
that
Dawn
we
to
can
say?
really use.
No, that was
We
Jesse. Jesse said that.
We fight a lot,
I love it.
and war might be the more useful option.
I love Dawn's idea of finding God is is someone going to match my freak? Who's going to match my freak?
That's not a bad metric, really.
No.
I mean, it
So-
really isn't.
There are worse
It all boils
metrics
down
for
to.
finding a
Shall we
god.
roll randomly to see which of you goes first?
Sure.
I will.
Ooh.
I'm gonna roll with
Finally.
my feet.
No, I'm gonna roll.
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
okay, well
My
then
fancy.
I won't roll with
You can
these
roll.
fancy
I'm sure you'll
feet.
have an opportunity to roll.
I'm gonna just roll it for fun.
You do
I
that.
got
Well, then
three.
just roll against you.
Got a
7.
3.
All right, so you're doing a d6.
14.
Ignore ones. So first up, we have
10. Nice and
2.
even.
That will be Jack. Jack, where are you heading? Yeah.
Me?
He.
Well, so I'm intrigued by the academician.
Oh, the academician. All right, so as you.
God bless you.
Academician.
Pronounce it right if you're going to the
Yeah.
God of Knowledge.
So, as you make your way towards.
It's gonna look like
this
an
temple-
idiot.
Hey,
Jack telling a god actually how you pronounce his
I
name.
heard smart
Actually, it's
people
pronounced.
work here. Is that true?
Yeah. Look,
Actually-
from what I
actually,
understand,
it's pronounced
language
Anamisia.
has always been a bit of a brushstroke in terms of interpretation.
Alrighty. So, this temple is a very large square of gray stone, but it is adorned with very decorative columns that are all carved into each
Oh.
corner of the square and topped with domes of emerald-colored marble and tall mahogany doors that are banded with gold, emblazoned with the image of a book on a pedestal. They beckon entry. There is no line. It
Shocking.
doesn't seem that anybody is really interested in petitioning the gods at this point, because as you move through the city, it does feel like moving through a city under siege. You hear the sounds of battle in streets, both near and far. You see
Sounds of feet
streaks of
clacking on the cobblestones.
You see the streaks of red moving through the sky as more and more souls crash into the city of Noxvalar. But as you approach the door, you stand in front of it a few moments, and then opens before you. And within, you see a maze of cavernous rooms, most of which fall into one of two categories. You see a library, multiple libraries, overflowing with towering shelves filled with tomes, scrolls, all manner of different ways to collect and store information. Or you see workshops full of sturdy tables that are laden with beakers, burners, alembics, glass tubing, all sorts of items that you'd find in various tinkerers' workshops. Library after library, workshop after workshop. And the priests here seem to be indistinguishable from just librarians or tinkerers. But as you are looking around here and trying to figure out where to go, there is one large door fairly close to the entrance that is closed, but is all of a sudden, with a loud popping bang, blown off its hinges and sent hurtling across the hall, smashing into the opposite wall. And a figure stumbles out from it with an absolute avalanche of black smoke rolling out from this room. It is a very tall and thin and gangly looking orc with the thickest pair of glasses that you've ever seen on any sort of a humanoid, wearing a long, smudged lab coat, and spots you and looks at you, blinks a couple of times, adjusts his glasses, and then takes them off and wipes them and puts them on again and looks at you all.
Well, that was fascinating, wasn't it?
Oh,
I'm sorry, I don't think I recognize any of you.
No, we're new around here. I'm sorry, does that happen all the time? As I point to the door lodged in the wall behind me.
Oh, no, usually the door is completely destroyed.
Oh, well, all right then. Are you okay? Do you need help?
Perfectly fine, but it's very kind of you to ask. But my name is Pogrom Hammerthong, and I am the High Cleric of this temple. There doesn't seem to be much of a line today, so I've been taking advantage of the free time to work on some of my special projects.
I see.
So, who are you?
My name is Jay, and I'm here to seek the knowledge of this fine establishment and the Hammer Throng clan.
Hammer Song?
Hammer Song. That makes way more sense. Thank you so much. I was like, Hammer Thong? My God. I mean, anyway.
For some reason, that particular word, I don't have the same speech impediment. I can say Hammer Song quite well. Whereas everything else has a problem. Not something that I worry about.
Everyday miracles. So, I'm sorry. Are you like the high priest? Are you?
Yes, I am. I am the high priest. I am the high cleric of the Academician, and you are. Well, do you need some intercession? What do you need? Knowledge? We have plenty of that.
Intercession.
Thank you. No, I caught that. Thank you. Yes, great. The fact that this is called the. I'm sorry, what was it called again? The Acada...
Well, the deity that we serve here is the Academician. He is the god of knowledge, and more importantly, the god of knowledge distributed. So, is that the sort of thing that you are looking for?
Oh, sure. Yeah, love it. Great. Let's crack open those spines and get to knowing. All right. So... Academician. Great. So, regale me, Hammersong.
That's not usually the sort of thing that I do. I can provide you with an assistant if you are looking for some specific research that you're trying to do, I can cast the spells on behalf of my deity if there is something that you need changed about yourself. There
Sean,
is.
I have played with you across worlds, and I can tell you now, I love no other NPC as much as I love this.
Oh, okay. Well,
this dear orc. Oh my god,
so
it's amazing.
Let's see.
Sorry.
If you
Jay.
could succinctly and specifically tell me what it is that you are here. Otherwise, I'm going to get back to exploding things.
No, of course. I wish to very succinctly, sufficiently, and saliently survey any supposed scripts and or texts that may perhaps in any way cite, scribe and or...
And it just occurred to me that you don't actually know why you're here.
Oh, well, no, that's why I'm looking for knowledge.
Aha. Come closer, please.
I'm...
Come on.
I'm following.
Right.
All right.
He moves into another area and reaches underneath a desk and brings out a large tome that appears to be bound in white leather and embossed with gold. He opens it and flips a few pages and looks at it, puts his hand on it, and then mumbles a few words and closes his eyes. And as he opens them again, there is a glow behind them that seems to scintillate through prism-like his very thick glasses that shoot out. He looks at you, holds his hand out with his fingers splayed as he stands there looking at you. You think quite a powerful boon.
I do.
This is a very rare honor and powerful blessing. I'm inclined to wonder why you want it.
Knowledge is power. With power comes the ability to save not only my friends, but also this reality and the worlds beyond it.
Your words ring with deep truth. So, as there is nobody else, I can give you access to the Academician's most profound boon. However, not without something in return. In about 30 minutes, there will be a conclave of all the priests here. It is where we speak to one another about subjects that interest us, to broaden our understanding of corners of knowledge that we don't necessarily get to experience. And in this way, we bring ourselves closer to the Academician, the all-knowing. I would like for you to give a lecture.
You mean like a dead talk?
Excuse me?
That might be one of my favorites, Ryan.
A dead
Hats off.
talk?
Yeah, where the dead talk at length about a subject that they're passionate about.
Oh, okay, I just got it. Thanks for coming to my dead talk.
Thanks for coming to my dead talk.
I hope I'm not the only one that took a second to get that, but if I am, apologies.
Then so be it. Yeah.
So be it. Absolutely, yes, the dead talk. That's catchy. I like it. Yes, need you to speak at length about whatever subject you wish, but it needs to be informative. I would like to see a charismatic delivery, and perhaps if there are any questions, see how well you're able to field them. you do this well, and so that you have the spirit of the Academician with you, and then I will bestow upon you his greatest boon.
I see. And it can
You'd
talk
love
about
to hear yourself.
anything?
The
Careful what you say
DM
about that.
regrets this so much. However,
Can't understand
the
why.
DM is forced to answer as this NPC. Yes. Whatever you wish, as long as it is something you can speak about with knowledge.
Very well then. I would be delighted.
You have some time to prepare, but then meet me in the lecture hall. I look forward to seeing how stupendous a speech you can provide.
Thank you. I look forward to sharing my knowledge.
And he straightens his coat, puts his glasses.
Take a second and
Is that right?
brush a little bit of the soot off the shoulder a little bit.
Oh, thank you very much. And then makes his way to another part of the temple.
And so we send the second dullest knife to cut a brick in half.
Oh,
Hey,
come on, Niall. You're not
Jack
that dull.
is an expert at talking at length about things that he cares about.
It's true.
And things
Whether
he doesn't,
other people
too.
care about them doesn't seem to matter in this particular point. It matters that he cares about them, and that's what you're good at that. You do like hearing yourself talk, Jack. I believe in you.
And what, pray tell, topic are you going to regale them with?
That is an excellent question. He's giving me a few moments here to prepare, and I am just honest. Is it something that I think they would care about? Clearly not. I mean,
He was
Teach
very
them how to encounter ooze.
he was very clear.
Good God.
It's something you care about and that they can learn about from how much you care about it. There will be questions, it sounds like, and you need to be able to answer those. It doesn't matter if they already care about it. What matters is that you care about it. Maybe you'll get them to care about it.
It's true. It's true.
Also, I love that guy.
Oh my god.
Right? He's so bumbly charming. Oh, God.
I want to know what his other
Bumbly-tastic.
experiments are.
I hope the rest of these encounters are as just chill
I'm
as
sure
this
the
one.
rest of this session will be this upbeat and entertaining, and there will be no tears or sadness.
Plucky
No
and-
strife.
The God of Envy sounds like a really fun-loving guy, so...
Oh, he definitely has a
know.
lateral lisp for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, what are you going to talk about, Jack?
I'll give you a few more minutes to think, Jack, but then we got to get to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do something that you can talk
I
about
start
ad
tidying
nauseam.
up your clothes as you're preparing for.
Well, thank you.
You could take off a few of the colors if you want to you could tone down the look if you wanted to let your words speak more for you. You could remove some of the
I'm so sorry.
colors. You're wearing a lot of colors.
You do not.
No.
You do not put this light under a bushel. All right. So tone down the colors.
They need to know how exciting the talk will be. So
Absolutely.
He has
And
to
if-
present it as such.
And even then, if I go over their heads, they need to have something pretty to look at. So
Well,
I believe in you, Jack.
as the appointed time comes, I see. Did you have something, Win? No, I saw.
No, I was saying good luck.
Oh, gotcha.
Peace.
We get to go in and hear him
Yes,
say this?
absolutely. You
Oh,
enter
better.
into the Grand Lecture
Right,
Hall. It is a large circular room with rows upon rows of risers leading down to a central lectern that is just large enough for a single individual and perhaps a couple of large easels with pads of paper if it should become necessary to give visual aid. But you see the High Cleric, this individual that apparently has made quite an impression upon the group here.
We're taking him with us.
Hammer Song motions for you to come down as the risers begin to fill, not to the brim. It doesn't seem like you're going to be addressing everyone, but enough people are here that it is going to be worth your while as Hammersong looks at you expectantly, ready for the gift of knowledge that you're going to bestow upon this assembly in exchange for the boon of knowledge from the Academicium. Take it away.
My dear friends, scholars, academians, I am honored to speak to you here today. My name is Ya, and thank you for coming to my dead talk. Performance is something that I think we all can share. Many of us wear masks, and even those of you who have never stepped upon the hallowed lights and tread the boards of a stage know exactly what it is to put on a performance. I dare say any one of you have lectured have done the exact same thing. You get up in front of your friends, your families, you tell a joke, you know exactly what it is to perform. And so, as a humble performer, I want to speak to you about the merits of what it is to just put on masks in your day-to-day life, and then what the absolute joy is of letting those masks fall. I stand here before you now, a fey creature. But that's not who I am, not who I was. I was human once. Just a boy. I had a family, a mother, and I got lost. Just like so many of us get lost. And I found my way to the Fae and the power that they held. It was through this power, these stories, I began to understand sort of the unravelings of my world. I built an empire, built a home to replace the one I'd lost. And then that home became a prison, a labyrinthian trap. Then I realized that trap was actually the one I put around myself. And so I struck out to try to find some truth amongst all the work I had built in my life. And I realized the only true, honest thing in the world is the knowing of things. The more you know of a thing, the more you're aware of it, the more you see it. I see myself every day in the eyes of my party, in the eye rolls of some of them, in the desperate looks across the battlefield, in the soft moments of concern. The way people see you, the way you see yourself, that is a knowledge I've fought very hard to forge so that people never really truly see me. But clearly, that doesn't work for some of them. They're looking at me right now, and I know they can see right through me. Knowledge of oneself, self-awareness. is the true, honest pursuit. So many of us go through life. You have no idea who you truly are. You think you know who you are or who you want to be, who you present yourself to be. Who are you performing as? But again, that's just a mask. So I ask you, my fellow scholars, my friends, do you see me? Do you see yourselves? Because I see you. And every single one of you is worth dying for, is worth fighting for, is worth knowing. And so I would ask this hallowed assembly to grant me that gift, that I may save all of you through the knowing. Thank you very much.
Niall stands up and gives a very slow clap.
That spreads as very well received. As the applause dies down, there are some questions, the hands that go up.
No questions. Yes, gentleman in the front.
You call upon a rather portly-looking gentleman with shocking red hair and a goatee, and he says, "Speaking on the subject of performance, it is generally considered by some that the great playwright Bill Rattlesword could not possibly have written all of the works that he is credited for. I'm curious as to your stance upon this in regards to performance and masks and such."
My dear friend, Bill Rattlesword is a dear, dear friend of mine from the days of old, and I can assure you that the monk who originally wrote that treatise wrote it several years, hundreds of centuries after his passing, and was therefore completely debunked. Please sit down. Your hair is ridiculous. Next question.
Well, there's one vote lost.
Do any of you have a question for Jack?
I have a question for you, Jack.
Yes, the dapper-looking pup in the third row.
The mask that you wear most often, do you regret how firmly it is affixed to your face?
I do not. It is my armor. I do regret that I'm not as able to take it off as I would like around the people I trust and love.
There's a hand that raises a rather young-looking soul, in fact. Although she has a very clever-looking face, and not necessarily a snarky-looking one, but just sort of a very piercing and erudite look to her. She raises her hand, calling her, and she said, "I think most would consider a mask to be mostly a defensive measure. Can you think of examples where wearing a mask can be used offensively, metaphorically speaking, of course?"
Oh, absolutely. Masks are clever disguises. They allow you to gain access to areas where you may not first be able to go, and then at the same time, they allow you to strike from a place of surprise.
Do any of you have any more questions for Jack? Well, in that case, the lecture is concluded and Hammersong comes down, nods, looks, she says,
That was not what I was expecting, frankly, but thank you. A very sincere and heartfelt opening of yourself. The truth is definitely the goal of all those who pursued knowledge. I think that if I know anything about the Academician, and I am his high cleric, so I'd better, he'll be very happy to have you receive the boon that I'm about to bestow upon you. Are you certain that you want this? It is likely to be rather jarring.
I am. Though I thank you for your concern.
Well, so be it. And he adjusts his clothes once again and leads you back to where this large book was. And this time concentrates, holds his hand towards you, and he says in a somber tone,
May you receive the gift of knowledge from he that is its source.
As he says this, you feel reality begin to fracture and bend around you. A blinding radiance sears everyone's vision, especially yours, Jack. But there is no pain, only an overwhelming presence. Vast, ancient, curious, searching, insatiable. You feel it press against your soul as if it is a physical force pressing in upon you. You feel your body lift from the ground, weightless, like a mote of dust being scattered by the winds of eternity. As this divine regard penetrates you and changes you, you feel knowledge and abilities and entirely new ways of looking at existence begin to stack themselves in ordered columns in your mind. As the sensation fades and you float back down, you all look at Jack and see that he now has a certain luminous quality behind his eyes. You can see the pupils, but there is definitely a glow there where there wasn't before. Jack, you have been given a boon of knowledge. This means you have access to the complete list of abilities and spells for the domain of knowledge. You can innately cast each spell that you have gained in this way once per day without using a spell slot. This boon will last until further notice.
Holy mackerel.
Jeez.
What?
Sweet Jesus.
Jeez.
So,
But now you have to talk like that.
give you obviously
And you
this
gain
is
a list.
huge.
That is
Yeah.
yeah.
And yes, there is this
son of a bitch.
unfortunate side effect. So obviously, a
John,
huge.
so don't tempt me, Frodo.
Yeah, there's a huge bit of knowledge that you need to know both as a player, but also as your character. It makes total sense for you to be at a little bit at a loss here. But yes, all cleric spells for your level, for equivalent cleric of your level, you have access to all the abilities you get for the domain of knowledge. As I recall, one of the big ones is that you can use a channel divinity to give yourself proficiency in any skill or tool.
Jeez.
You have the ability to turn undead. You have access to all of the spells that you would have access to, and you can cast any of them once per day. You don't prepare them. You don't prepare them like spell slots, like a cleric prepares their spell slots for the day. You have just all of them. You can cast each one of them once.
Yeah.
Better get to study.
Okay, so it's not that I can cast. It's not that I can cast any of them. I can cast any of them, and I can do that once per day. It's
Correct.
I can cast any of them
once per day.
So you can catch each of
Like
them
multiple
once
spells,
per day,
Each
or
of them once per day.
each of them
Each
once per
once
day.
per day. Yes.
Oh,
I can cast each spell
Holy
once per
crap.
day.
Yeah.
Or I can cast any of the spells, but just once per day.
each of them.
Each spell once per day.
Am I,
each of
am I
them.
saying that right?
Once per day.
Yeah.
Each of them.
Yes,
once.
you are.
Obviously,
Wow,
a tremendous
Sean.
power up. I hope you recognize what that might mean is on the horizon.
Not
who's
great
next?
things.
Oh, I'm gonna get into some weird shit.
Who is next?
Jack, my days of not taking you seriously are definitely coming to a
Oh
middle.
my god, that is a callback to a
Definitely
show
coming to a start.
nobody remembers.
I love that show.
I love that
Oh.
show, and nobody ever
It's
gets my
great.
references.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So, who's next?
You were
We-
rolling for us.
You
Oh,
roll
that's
for
right.
it.
I'm rolling.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let me roll.
We're not gonna talk to Jack.
Yeah,
after
so
that?
actually,
yeah,
Don,
absolutely. Yes, of course.
Don
What am I thinking?
did want to talk to
By
Jack,
all means. Yes.
kind of privately. So she would kind of pull him aside as
Shimmy
we're
him.
walking after.
Shimmy him.
I'd just grab his foot because he's flying and just pull him to the side. I do that with my toddler all the time. Just hey, Jack, I actually have a question about your lecture, but I was too scared, I think is the right word, to ask in front of everybody. As somebody, it's less about performance and more about experience, but as if you're always putting on a face or experiencing all your emotions through other people, how do you ever let that go and find yourself? Do you have an answer to that? Did we lose Ryan?
I was going to say, he's
Did
we lose
completely
Ryan?
frozen. Very frozen.
Great timing. Great timing.
So, yeah, he's
Yeah,
affected.
he-
He's
he
going.
lost.
All right.
Oh, here he comes.
Oh,
All right.
no, sorry. I gained infinite knowledge and immediately did not want to be a part of this conversation. So, what's up?
So what's up? I just told you a secret and you ignored me and then flew back. No, I just had a.
Dawn literally gained infinite knowledge. Okay, so just give me a second.
Wait, that might actually help you answer my
Wait, which-
question.
Oh, great.
I actually have a question about your lecture. And just, you say that I was a little scared to ask in front of everybody, so I didn't.
Okay, who do you like?
Majin, obviously.
Oh, sorry.
No, as somebody who's puts on a face all the time and doesn't necessarily show the real you, what if kind of the opposite is true? What if you experience the world through others and hide from experiencing it yourself? Do you think how do you find yourself in that, and how do you stop doing that?
I would say to that individual that you have to start putting yourself first, and you can't keep expecting other people to live your life for you.
There's so much less risk that way.
Is there?
I don't know. Kind of always felt like there was.
I honestly feel that one of the things I've learned is that others are worth the risk, even when they're not. And that the sooner you close yourself off behind walls, that's how you lose yourself.
Okay. It's scary, though.
It is.
Starting to experience things for yourself.
Mm-hmm. But you'll never see the dawn if you're inside a box.
Thank you for taking this question seriously. Jacques.
Ak always takes things seriously. It's Jay who's quite frivolous.
I have rolled as to who is next on the block. It is Win.
Win for the win?
Are we not thinking that we would get through this sooner if we split up? I don't know that I need an entourage.
When I don't think you know what you're going up
absolutely
against.
coming along. Yeah.
Yeah, you keep dying. We don't know what we're coming up against. Why?
I don't think every boon is going to come with a lecture.
We don't know what they could come with.
Why? I mean, if you really want to do it, but I think we should at least go to the temple with you.
All right. You go to the temple with me, but don't come inside.
No, we're coming with you.
We'll wait to see if part of the process is, you have to go in by yourself, then we'll fight. But it's fine.
Why do you want to do this on your own? Why you're being kind of a little cagey?
Seems like it'll be a pretty personal thing. I don't know why having a few boundaries about something so personal is cagey.
We're in this task together.
Do you not trust me?
There's nothing to do with trust, Win.
Do you not trust us?
Right? It's not about trust, as you said.
But what happens if it's something more nefarious that you have to face?
Wouldn't I have to face it on my own either way?
It's hard to say.
Yeah. We don't know until the task comes upon us.
Can I insight check Win? Regular insight check?
Sure.
26.
I don't think there's much to insight here.
I'm just trying to feel why. I'm trying to read why she's like. Is she trying to I'm trying to get the vibe on why you're trying to go off without us instead of.
Right. So I guess the question is:
together.
Is it simple Win just wanting to keep aspects of herself private, or is there something specific that she was trying to avoid?
I'm trying to see if it's literally just like that, or if it's something different.
So that's a question for Win. And Win, if you don't want her to know the truth, that will require either a deception or an intimidation check. I would allow you.
I rolled a 26 insight.
I'll roll a deception because I don't think she would go so far as to use her intimidation, which is a much better stat. But
can
she's
you
not an
possibly succeed on with a 26?
Well, I got a 7. So no.
Okay. So what is it? What is it that Win does not want people? Is there something beyond just simple privacy?
Yeah, you don't have to
Shh. Yeah, it is absolutely beyond simple privacy. Shh. Do you want me to say?
No, you don't. I mean, she's not reading your mind.
Was going to do.
She's just
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah, truly.
I can't read. Well, I mean, I can read. I can detect thoughts. I'm just not going to on Win because once again, I would not. She wouldn't go so far as to intimidate. When if you if you really, really don't want us to come with you, that's your choice. But I think that we're stronger together, and any choice you make and anything you do, we stand behind you. And any personal thing that happens, we stand behind you. So just know that.
It can't possibly be more revealing than what we just encountered.
I'm a lot older than him. There's plenty more to reveal.
False.
How old are you, though?
Just got really good bone structure, darling.
No,
the
but
night
like,
creams.
really, how old is Jack?
Yeah, he's easily over 200.
Well, then we are peers.
Elves, man.
Well,
It appears so.
she understands what Dawn is saying, and yet she responds, I appreciate that, and thank you. I do want to go alone.
To which temple are you going?
Are you the DM asking me? Like, what am I telling you?
Random person walking by. Oh, hi. Which temple are you going to?
Hammerthon comes out. It's like, hey, where's next?
But you hadn't.
So she had agreed to go to Regret, but she regretted it, and having Wish not taken by anyone, she feels profoundly drawn to go there instead.
All right.
But she doesn't want them to know that she can't, that she's doing that.
Aha. Well, will you be dissuaded from following Win group?
Dawn meant what she said. Is that if Wynn
Dawn's
really
the only
wants,
respectable one in this
is that
group.
if Wynn really wants to do it on her own, she'll let her, but that she thinks it's a bad idea and should trust the group.
All right, but that's not insisting.
Yeah, I wouldn't force her to take us with. So it would be the rest of the group and how they react to Wynn wanting to go off, and Dawn allowing it, and me allowing it.
I just shrug my shoulders and walk away.
Okay. So it sounds like when you have the privacy that you seek. However, I will ask for a stealth check from Niall, who is trying to follow you, I have learned.
Oh, yeah. And Yak will,
Yep, I was DMing,
yeah.
but yep.
yeah.
I mean, of
Alright.
course, though.
Yak-
Like,
No.
I know that you, Tess Human, will not be mad at that. Okay, that is a
Yeah.
15 on the die plus something. Let's see.
Yak
Jack,
casts
should we try-
invisibility on himself.
Oh, it's at advantage.
And-
Sorry, hold on one
All right.
second.
So,
Dawn's just
How
sitting
am I
there.
gonna do
Why
this?
am I suddenly all alone?
Exactly. Where did everybody go? 28 on
28
stealth.
on
That
stealth.
definitely beats Win's passive. With invisibility,
which is low.
visibility, Jack, you will not be able to see Jack either.
I take flight.
Are you sure? As a red streak of a soul comes screaming out of the sky.
I'm not flying like high in the sky. I'm trying to kind
Yeah, but he's saying-
more use it for speed.
Yeah, but he's saying, oh, you're not going up into the sky?
Yeah, I'm just using. I'm like literally like maybe 20 feet off the ground.
So is Jess is Soka is Dawn the only person who is actually not following Win?
Yep.
No, but the second, the second my entire party
Dawn
leaves me
will-
and disappears, I'd be like, Win, they all left. Where'd they go?
So, well, this will
So,
afford you the. Ironically,
so
this
you don't
affords
see
you
it-
the opportunity, Jesse, for Dawn to go someplace by herself. So we'll deal with that.
So, Dawn, you will hear right next to you. So, like, if you want, I can turn you invisible too, and you can follow. But it's up to you, kid.
I'm going to respect her wishes.
And that's very noble.
And then you just run off, and away he goes.
Yeah. And away he goes.
So, this being the case, you will then see, I guess, according to Tess, that Wynn does not go to the Temple of Regret, but rather goes to the Temple of Jodin, the goddess of wishes, or the goddess of the wisdom. Is that the case?
Yes.
All right. Well, I think we will take a short break and then see what we encounter when we return from that. So, see you all back here in a little bit for some more divine booning. Sounds kind of naughty.
Boons. You get a boon, and you get a boon. Everybody gets a boon.
And say, brought to you by Boone Farm. No, I love it.
See you soon.
Did you really think I would notice the blatant hubris of the Council of Coastal Wizards? Perhaps they believed altering the fabric of the cosmos would keep me, from my fledgling warlocks, forcing my hand-selected tools to claw and crawl for experience they deem fit to forge a pact with me. Ridiculous. But the slamming of the celestial door made me realize I've committed a sin. I've forgotten about your world. Probably from the monotony of the same story over and over again. Slay the dragon, stop the evil cult, thirst over the vampire. Well, let's change that. Let's make it fun again, shall we? My carnival is coming to your world for a little housekeeping. All those messy rules those wizards put into place will leave a lot of things forgotten after all. I'm sure you won't miss them. But only if you accept my invite to the greatest story I've yet to weave, just for your insignificant ball of rock. All are welcome, from the most accursed king down to the misplaced orphan. I promise that everyone will leave with their souls intact. Seriously, I don't deal in souls. That's so... last millennia.
And welcome back. Sincerely, welcome back. Didn't mean to be scary.
Yeah, no, that's getting into it.
We're
Insincerely.
Severed Threads, Notes from the Black Ballad. If you're just joining us, welcome. If you've been here, welcome back. We are, of course, doing this amazing module that has been written by Storytellers Forge, the producers of, the sponsors of this stream. If you like what you're seeing and want to check out this module yourself, it is for sale. You should definitely check it out in the link in chat. They also have more stuff coming. The Festivals of the Forgotten, Revelations of the Dark Carnival. Looking forward to that one myself. If you like the music, it's by Dia Morte. If you like the character art, it's by Kai. If you like my DMing, I am for hire. We should chat. We can definitely do a game. If you like Shakespeare, you should check out the Ohio Shakespeare Festival. And if you like listening to actual plays, you should definitely check out Echoes of Kryn and Dragons of the Hidden Flood, which is a podcast that Samus and I are part of. If you need someone to do your accounting, I would send you to Jessie. However, she is in Canada. So unless you're from Canada too, you're not going to want her to do your taxes.
I don't do taxes anyway. I hate taxes.
That bears further discussion, but at another date. Then, of course, there's World of Tanks, which is a game you should play.
It's a game. Yeah.
It's a game.
Play it.
You should. Yeah.
Thanks for that. Yeah.
Do it.
You won't do it. Do it.
The adventurers are traveling around the road to eternity, trying to acquire divine boons for Ashlyn so that she can hopefully resurrect the goddess Nixia. They have already received the boon of the god of knowledge, and now it seems that they are sort of splitting up. At least one of them is. When you have left, I think, ostensibly to go to the Temple of Regret, but have changed your mind and are going to the Temple of Jodin, the goddess of wish.
Yes.
This is true.
My intrusive thoughts have won.
I see. In that case, Samus, you probably don't know that Jack is following as well, given the fact that he's invisible. And Jack, you probably don't see Niall because of how high he rolled on his stealth. Both of you see flying in the air, the form of Dusk.
However, all
making
of us
her way after
notice. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
As subtle as an earthquake.
Are you trying to be stealthy?
I'm trying not to get within Wynn's immediate periphery, but no.
Behold on the wings of death!
Cower in fear before the flying form of death!
So yes and no is what I'm getting from that?
Yeah.
Me?
Okay. What's your passive perception, Win?
13. This is pretty low.
Okay. So, Dusk, if you don't roll stealth, if the road was as full of people as it usually is, probably wouldn't be an issue, even if you are flying with giant demonic wings. As empty as it is, unless you try to be stealthy, Win's going to see you.
Let's see what story the die
Okay.
is. Oh, actually, I rolled 19.
All right.
Just on the die. Accidentally, Dusk is being stealthy.
Very well. We'll chalk it up to Win being very distracted.
Meanwhile, Dawn standing by herself because all of her friends.
Suddenly
Dawn's just standing there.
stealthy.
Okay, I guess I'm alone now. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Right. So all three of you see Win head towards the temple where she has been before, the temple to Jodin. As before, this temple seems very subdued, almost quaint compared to the ostentatious Gothic grandeur of the neighboring temples. It's very simple, marble. It is sculpted to resemble a oversized cottage, perhaps. But the most noticeable thing about it is that it is a very large front courtyard, which is lined on the left and the wall. There's no front wall, no gate, just columns wreathed in ivy that support a welcoming arch, and dozens upon dozens of feline creatures lounging inside the courtyard walls. Some are curled up on the green grass on the ground. Others are stretched out on the long ledges that line the inside of the walls. You see many common cats, but some are almost alien-looking, still recognizably feline, but with extra legs, extra tails. You see one that has numerous eyes, almost like some sort of spider-like cat. One creature in particular looks like a blue-winged mountain lion. They all watching you win intently as you step in. And in point of fact, both Niall and Jack, as you move into this courtyard as well, you can tell that these cats are watching you as well, despite what you may have cast and or rolled. Wynn, do you stop at all in the courtyard, or do you just walk into the temple?
I think I would just walk right into the temple.
All right. Unlike the temple of knowledge that seemed to be filled only with priests and monks devoted to the academician, this one is filled with refugees. The interior is as humble as you would expect based on the outside, filled with rows of cots that line one side of the Great Hall, and then rows of tables that run along the other side. And you see all of these refugees trying to enjoy a meal in safety. It's actually very hard to tell who the actual clerics of Jodin are. This people here, you assume, are souls that either have not had a chance to find housing, given the huge influx of souls that is now coming into the Sunless Crossing, or have had their housing destroyed as part of the ongoing conflict. But it's quite full. What do you do?
God bless you.
Look around to see if there's... Did they follow me in? Am I allowed to know as a player?
I think having seen, first, just figuring out where it is that you were going, being different from what it is that you said, and knowing that I'm being observed by the cats, I think I will have let you take this journey solo.
Okay. Heard you sneeze and you hear him say, God bless you.
So you're making your presence known.
Force of habit. Sorry.
I am annoyed, but not at all surprised.
Dusk.
I landed by the
You landed by,
Did
you
it?
didn't go in.
Yeah.
Did you go in?
Just crashed into the building.
Did
Sorry?
you go into the temple?
No, I landed by the door once I saw her go in, and I'm just standing there kind of shocked, stupefied.
Okay. All right. So, yes, when you're aware that Jack is there.
Is anybody with you?
It's pronounced Jake. Who, me?
Yes.
No. I mean, Niall, and Dusk's by the door, and Dawn is definitely not here.
Mm-hmm. Well, whatever. And I look about for maybe a perception check to see if I can get any sense of, who's the hammer song here that I can speak to.
Gotcha. Make a perception check.
I got a 15.
A 15. Well, again, very difficult. You don't see anyone that really stands out as a priest or a priestess. However, as you are looking around, a halfling woman does approach you. She has light brownish skin, silver hair, very cleanly shaven at the back and at the sides. The hair on the top of her head is cut short, styled to form a triangle of spikes that flare out in every direction. She wears very simple clothes and a stained apron. She wipes her hands on a rag and looks at you and says,
I don't suppose you've come looking for a warm drink or a soft bed. By the look of you, I'd wager you have some matter of grand import to discuss. Name's Tack Walnut. You can follow me if you like.
All right.
So she leads you through this area to what appears to be a makeshift kitchen in extreme disarray. Dirty dishes and pans strewn everywhere. And she speaks as you walk. She says,
It's a great irony, isn't it, that most of the people who are in this city don't actually need to eat. But
she gestures at all the dishes.
that would certainly seem to indicate that they definitely want to. And I suppose that a hearty meal can do wonders if soul's mental well-being is not quite what it should be. Wouldn't you say?
Certainly.
Well, then perhaps you wouldn't mind pitching in a little.
All right. I can do that easily.
Great. Well, we'll need the floors mopped. We'll need some dishes scrubbed, someone to dry them, and maybe scoop all food scraps into a bucket and lug it out to the cats.
Which would you prefer I do first?
I think probably the food. That way, if it drips on the floor, then you could clean it up.
All right. And she gets right to work.
All right. This halfling woman, Tack, also seems to be busy as well. As soon as she sees that you are off to a good start, she steps out and continues doing the work that she was doing. Jack, what do you do during all this?
I was just thinking about that as I was like, do you want me to dry and then you wash, or like which?
Well, you could pitch in.
Help?
Okay.
Do you truly wish to be left alone? And remember, you have to say, I wish.
I know better than to do that.
Then, if you don't want me to leave you alone, I will help. Cat food scraps, huh?
All right. So,
All right.
Jack, you scrape together a large bucket of food scraps, and
Still invisible, mind you. So this is this delightful, like sword in the stone, like Merlin cleaning that, like that's.
I love my favorite seeds of all time. Actually,
It's delightful.
I love the grumpy. I love the grumpy sugar cup, and he's like,
Yeah.
So
that is Niall, a grumpy sugar cup.
So who's my grumpy sugar cup?
Grumpy sugar cup. Merch. I need merch.
As you struggle with this large bucket of food scraps and take it out to the courtyard invisibly, once again the cats look at you, but as they completely ignored you on your way in, now they come en masse and just begin to rub up against you, pawing up into the air, batting at your feet, trying to get at the food and at you. Not like they're wanting to hurt you, just being the aggressive marking of territory that cats tend to do.
Very, very friendly. Out. No biscuits. No biscuits.
When it is a simple but grueling task. There are a lot of dishes, and there is a lot of mopping to do. But it sounds to me like you get at it without so much as blinking an eye.
Practical life chores have always given her some focus and calm. So she actually, while it is grueling and she is tired, she emotionally is not drained by it.
Fantastic. Well, after about an hour and a half of constant work, the rush seems to have died down, and you actually look at what is, for the most part, a clean kitchen. There's still dirty dishes coming in, but certainly better than it was. And you see Tack Walnut again, looking at you. She has a smile. She says, "Oh, it's good to see that despite the armor and the weapon that mark you as a fighter, you're aware that not all enemies require slicing."
It wasn't always this way.
Elbow grease. Well then, I am the High Cleric here at the Temple of Jodin. Normally there's quite a line to see me, but we've been focusing on other things recently. So at the moment, you have my undivided attention. What can I do for you?
I come from Ashlyn. She has asked our party to gather boons. I seek one from this god.
A divine boon from Jodin. May I inquire as to what Ashlyn, the Sovereign, intends to do with such a powerful gift?
Save us all.
No further explanation,
I don't know if it's mine to give.
I can respect that. Well, are you truly aware of what it is you're asking for?
No.
Another truthful answer. If you were to be given the divine favor of Goddess of Wishes, and potentially had access to powers and abilities that you've never even dreamed of, what do you think you would want to do with it?
I'm not sure.
Really? You can't think of anything you'd want to do with the favor of the Goddess of Wishes?
I can think of things, just not sure which one I'll actually do.
Well then, I suppose it's just a question of asking Jodin herself. She closes her eyes and takes a deep breath, and then opens them, and you see just white light in her eyes. And she speaks, this time with a voice that is not quite what you heard before.
What is it? With you.
Your boon.
Make a persuasion check, please, Win.
Oh my god. Rolling garbage. I'm never clicking that button again. 6. Rolled 6.
I am afraid that a 6 is not enough, as the light flickers for a moment and then goes out.
Wait.
it stops, and the eyes open. The light stays there a little bit, and then
I'll tell you the
flickers back.
truth. I want my daughter back.
Is that what you will use these powers for? Or is that simply what you want, what you wish?
How could I not use this power for that? I don't want to. But maybe I'll be compelled to. I wish I hadn't come. I wish I'd gone where I said I was going. I just couldn't walk away from the idea of it. I want to help my party. I want to help everyone. I want everyone to get a chance at life. Because that's the least that everybody deserves. But there's nothing I want more than to have her back. Or at least to see her and know she's okay. And know that maybe someday I'll be with her. I want all of those things.
It is a wish that is deeply engraved upon your soul. And now that it is spoken aloud, perhaps you can receive this boon.
But I do need you to make another persuasion check, Win. However, I will give you advantage on this one.
DM, just
Use
a quick,
actual dice.
I'm
Don't click the
not.
button.
yeah, DM, just a quick question. We can't in any way like I can't offer bardic inspiration or anything like that for this moment, or I
Kind of
didn't
too
know
late,
if
I
this
would
was.
say.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, I got...
But
Oh, go ahead.
an hour and a half has passed, so invisibility would have dropped anyway.
Absolutely.
So,
18.
what did you get, Win? An 18.
15 and then 3.
That is a success. As the eyes that you're looking at of this little halfling begin to glow, and you feel this light take up your entire field of view, you feel as if you are hearing this goddess speak to you, but you can't understand the words. The voice doesn't really have a sound. It has a resonance that is more felt than heard. But it shivers through you. You actually feel it in the marrow of your bones. And it reshapes you. And this knowledge and this understanding of deeply held desires and how they drive individuals and how they shape the unfolding of fate becomes understood by you in a way that it's never been before. And as with Jack, you now have access to the abilities and the spell list of a cleric of the domain of Wish, which is a new domain that is in the Black Ballad sourcebook. So you will need to familiarize yourself with that. And as with Jack, you can cast any spell on that spell list once per day. A tremendous influx of power. And now both Jack and Win have a slight luminous quality behind their eyes.
Mine's blue. Just so everyone knows.
She's been eating unrefined
It's your favorite
spice.
color.
Yeah, yes.
Spice must flow.
May her blade chip and shatter.
So, that is a success for you, Win, as now 2 boons have been acquired. Who's next? I shall roll. Next up, we have Niall.
All right. Off to the marquee then.
To the marquee, eh? So, the full name of the marquee is the Marquis of the Final End. Most generally referred to simply as the Marquis. Let's see here. As you approach this temple, Niall, by yourself?
I'm not opposed to anybody following or joining me. I don't need to do this alone, but if other people are preoccupied.
If I know you're there, then I will go with you.
Okay.
Because you were stealth, and I don't know if I could.
I wouldn't have, just following Wynn, I would not have been stealthed on this task.
Given the
Then we
fact
probably met at the door.
Given the fact that neither one of you are stealth, and you realize you sort of leave while Wynn spends an hour and a half cleaning the kitchen with Jack, is it conceivable that you would run back into Dawn and the three of you would hang out?
Absolutely.
All right. So Dawn, not by
Oh, thank
yourself,
God. I
with
thought I was
Dusk
going to
and
have
with
to go to
Niall.
MV all by myself. I didn't. You guys all left without saying anything except for Jack, and I didn't know what was going on.
You saw me go.
Yeah, but you didn't say anything. I didn't know if you were going to come back
left us.
to help me.
You left
I didn't know if now the rest of us were doing this on our own. I've just been wandering, trying to think of an adjective for myself.
But did you know that she went to a different place?
Ridiculous. The adjective is ridiculous.
She didn't go to Regret.
Where'd she go?
She went to Wish.
Are you surprised?
Well, that's not that surprising. She already had a coin for there.
I know, but she lied.
You lie all the time.
Kinda.
But that's her choice. It was private for her. She had her reasons, and I chose to respect that. Apparently,
Yeah.
I'm the only one. And you guys say I'm nosy.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, pretty much. You are.
I'm not there, but you are, yes.
Somehow you know.
hear Jack in the back just saying,
All righty. So, the three of you then make your way towards the Temple of the Marquis. You are greeted by what looks like a giant mausoleum. There are gravestones that line the path that lead up to a square monolith of charcoal-colored stone with a single skull carved beneath the A-frame of stone shingles. The structure is not all gloom, though. There is a door that is made of polished gold, which is flanked by windows tinted hues of pink and orange, which provides entry into the temple itself. Again, not anywhere close to the huge throng that has been at all of the places you've tried to go to. All of the lines are missing, so you're able to walk right up to the door and step in. Stark contrast here. The inside of the temple is very bright and welcoming. Looks more like a cross between a cafe and a library, as opposed to the interior of a mausoleum. There's a central chamber that acts as both what you assume to be a worship hall and a throne room. And you see in this chamber numerous pews of dark stone, and at the center, this throne of beautiful black obsidian that is sitting on top of a slightly raised dais. Seated on the throne, you see a being that can only be the Marquis himself. A tall being with black skin, no hair, and a rather placid expression. Impeccably dressed. Is being attended by a half-orc in well-fitted robes. Also looks very finely made and a very dapper cut. This deity, as I said, has taken the form of a dark-skinned human. The eyes are quite piercing. Color of gray, stormy sky. The overall look to this deity looks like someone who's gone to great pains to make their appearance very fine, but also has gone to pains to make it look like they just try very hard to make it very fine. Sort of getting that fine line, looking effortlessly stylish. Perfectly manicured hands. This clothes he's wearing a expertly tailored three-piece suit. Exquisite fabric. Subtle tartan pattern of blacks and whites and grays. Has a silk scarf, and hands are steepled in front of him, watching as you approach. Tilts his head slightly towards the cleric at his side, and the half-orc opens his mouth and places his hands in a welcoming gesture, and he says, "Please enter and be welcome, honored souls of great renown."
I wonder if we would be so welcome if you knew what our task was that we had just completed.
I know much. I know where you have been, and I know the incredible gift you have received.
And
as the half-orc speaks, the figure sitting on the throne gestures as if they are the ones speaking. There's a bit of theatricality going on here, perhaps.
Then I will direct my gaze to the one on the throne, even though it's the half-orc that's speaking. And you're not angry with us?
Far from it. You made a request. The domain of death. An extremely gutsy move. And it has paid off.
I won't lie.
Oh, God. I have my views on a great many subjects, but I am not going to go against the will of that which lends me its power from time to time.
Well, I'm grateful that I'm not seeking your aid with your ire directed at me. I am curious.
There are others who would not take such an enlightened view, but I am not one of them.
I am curious, then. You believe this to be the right course of action?
That I am less sure of. The decision was made. Now that it has been made, I would be a fool to second-guess it.
We are the same, then.
Had you come to me first, I might have counseled you differently.
Then I imagine you also know why it is I am here.
Yes. And may I say thank you for taking the time to dress so appropriately for the occasion.
I simply died this way, but you're welcome.
You have excellent taste.
Oh, I know. I think it goes without saying, everyone here dresses accordingly. To what end, I wonder?
For my part, I am not a deity that revels in death and dying. I appreciate life. I want the mortals who worship me to experience life to its fullest degree. And that means the trappings, garments made with care and style. So that when they are finally ready for the gift that I can bestow, it is one they receive without feeling they have missed anything. Oblivion is so permanent. Live, enjoy your life. Come to me when you are truly ready for the end.
I have felt a version of that end that I don't know my soul could bear again. The reason that I've come to you seeking this boon is because I seek to understand death. I will do whatever it is you require of me to acquire such a boon.
I require nothing. You have asked politely something that is, in other circumstances, completely unreasonable to assume that I would be willing to give. But why would I withhold my boon when you have already spoken to the entity, to the concept, to the very source of my power? So, receive
the boon of death. Life, faith, hope.
And as his voice finishes the last syllable of your word, your name, you feel a cold that washes over you. The only thing that you can think of it is it reminds you exactly of the falling, of passing into the domain of death before, as just freezes the blood in your body, freezes the air in your lungs, freezes the thoughts in your mind. And you see oblivion. You hear the voice of the Marquis with you even now.
To truly know death is to see the utter emptiness that it brings. There are deities that rely upon the domain of death to carry their servants to other ends. Ends of service, ends of torment, ends of bliss. I offer nothing. Total and eternal slumber. I give you the peace of that. And the knowledge that, in the end, it is what awaits all beings.
As the words finish, you come back to yourself. It is a more subtle and contained accepting of this power than you saw Jack receive. But as you open your eyes, those of you who are with Niall see that they are glowing with a deep purplish black hue. And now, Niall, you have access to all of the abilities of a cleric of the death domain up to the level that you currently have. And you can cast all of the spells on that spell list once per day.
I promise I will do everything in my power to restore balance, so that you and what you do is appreciated to its fullest extent by all you touch.
The half-orc gives a bow. And the Marquis staples his fingers again, watching you.
On my way out, I'm just going to very gently straighten the tie of the half-orc and then I'll leave.
Very nice. Let's see. So, there are now 3 of you left, correct?
2 of us.
2.
3 people have got their boons. It's just the twins.
Just the twins.
Sisters.
Well, let's see. It's going to be Dusk.
Dusk.
Where are you heading,
Dusk. Dusk.
Me.
Goose.
I've changed my mind, and I'm gonna walk towards in the direction of what I think is regret.
Of regret. Very well.
Love that.
So, the Abbey of Reflection is very austere, devoid of any of the garish trappings or holy markings that you see on other nearby temples. It has brass doors that are polished to a mirror sheen and are wide open. You see a steady flow of souls coming in and out. Apparently, when tragedy strikes, the desire to come to terms with past regrets grows very strong indeed. So, while there is no line, there is quite a few individuals. You come in, you see the hallways are choked with souls waiting to be admitted to counseling chambers, which also seem to be lined with mirrors. The clergy are easily recognized. You can see they have these holy symbols that also have mirrors upon them. They seem to be a bit overwhelmed, and you think you might be waiting here for some time. However, as one of the clergy comes by you, he stops for a second and then touches his holy symbol. Looks confused for a moment, turns slightly, and then starts and touches it again and makes his way towards you, gone. And looks at you deep in your eyes and says, "I'm sorry. Is there something of great importance that you wish to discuss?"
There is. However, in this situation, it is actually my sister who would like to discuss it. And
Your sister?
will turn and point to Dusk.
So as you turn and reveal Dusk behind you, the man starts again and touches his holy symbol and says, "Ah, yes. Yes, indeed. Well, may I help you? My name is Titus. I am what is known as the High Counselor here at the Temple to Contrit, the god of regret."
Hello, Titus. I am here to seek a boon of your...
Perhaps we should go and speak
Lady?
someplace privately.
Yes, please.
Do you mind, sister?
Of course not. Dusk, are you okay?
Oh, yes. Before I walk away, I will just gently place my hand on your arm, just as a, I'm fine.
All right,
I
so
believe
he
in you.
leads you to a quiet room. There's a little fountain that is releasing a small burble of water. And there's a plant in the corner, comfortable chairs, and he sits in one and motions for you to sit in the other. He says, "Do you require any refreshment?"
I am fine, thank you. Stiff and I sit down very stiff. Like, this is comfortable? I don't understand this.
Forgive me, my connection to my God sometimes directs me to those individuals who have particularly intense regrets. And you seem to be such an individual. I am here to help, but I do require you to take the first step.
Oh. I regret dying?
Yes.
I'll wait outside.
We often
Can't watch this.
have regrets of things left undone, but perhaps I could be more clear. Not something that has happened to you, or regret that something that you did or didn't do.
Oh. Is this something people can do easily?
Usually not.
Okay. Makes me feel a little bit better. I mean, I can go through the fact that I feel like if something I had done would have prevented my sister from dying, but I am still on the same topic as I was one question ago, I guess.
Well, perhaps we should begin with why you are here.
I seek a boon from your lady.
What sort of
to help something that could help make this place not be in danger? You're in danger.
Yes,
also.
I am aware, but I don't understand. A boon. Is this boon for you, or on behalf of someone else?
On behalf of Ashlyn.
The Sovereign. The Sovereign has asked you to receive a boon from Contrit.
Well, I wasn't specifically tasked with Contrit, but I was tasked to go get a boon.
See, a divine boon.
Yes.
It is no small thing you ask for. May I inquire as to why Ashlyn has asked you to do this?
To make this place not be in danger.
How exactly does this boon allow that to come to pass?
I don't know.
Is that a lie, Dusk?
No.
You do actually know.
Oh.
She needs the boons so that she can resurrect Nixia.
Well, that part, I guess, yeah, I just didn't make the...
Yeah, like how is she going to use the boon?
Making the connection.
Like how would she use the boon to raise Nixia is what I thought maybe the question was.
Yeah. Get me a chicken because I want eggs, and I don't know about the eggs.
So, do you say you don't know? I love you so much.
Yes.
Those fluffy dog things.
Oh, I've got regrets.
Been living with your sister for how many years, and you don't understand how you don't understand how regret works. I don't know. Don't know.
Is it something like you walk into this space and then everything you say you regret? Like that part of the temple?
Oh my god, yes! Yes.
I'm so glad that
that's my whole
Niall's
life.
not here with you right now.
Oh my god, yes.
It's probably best your sister's not with you either.
So Titus continues.
It's a good thing I'm in
Titus continues to look at you intently. Why does the Sovereign want you to acquire divine boon?
The power that it gives is going to help her achieve what she thinks is best for this place.
Has she told you not to reveal why?
I just don't know if it would be good for what will happen to be so easily revealed. And not that I don't trust you, I just don't know what the knowledge could do to you. See, that's one step ahead of regret.
I'm afraid that unless I know what this boon will be used for specifically, I cannot offer my aid in helping you attain it. You will have to trust me, as hundreds of thousands have trusted me before.
Doctor-patient confidentiality, I don't know the word. Okay, well, I mean, that I would assume that the last thing that would happen in a place to deal with regret is that I regret what I'm about to say, which is that she wants to bring back Nexia.
So as you say that name, the holy symbol around Titus's neck, which is this faceted mirror, shows a variety of different reflections at once put together in a geometric shape. There is a tone that sings out from it, as if somebody has run their finger along a wine glass, just sort of, and he closes his eyes and then nods and says, I see. I cannot offer this blessing. It can only come directly from Lord Contrit himself. I can escort you to the innermost chamber of this abbey, to the great reflecting mirror where you can make your request to the Lord himself. Take some time. Clear your mind of anything except a deeply held regret. You must articulate it and offer it to Lord Contrit as sacrifice. If he finds it worthy, you will receive his boon.
What will happen with this regret once I offer it?
The Lord takes it upon himself, and you will be cleansed of it.
Oh, okay. Easy.
Not at all.
I know I was lying.
Take some time. Stay here as long as you wish.
Okay.
When you are ready, come to the door, and I will lead you where you need to be.
No need. We can go.
Are you certain?
You know, certain things you have in your mind that as soon as you're asked the question, it just comes rumbling out.
Well,
yeah.
If you're sure. And he takes you away from the throngs of people, speaking with other counselors, into a small walled chamber. Stone. Its only decorations are a very small stone bench, large enough for one person, illuminated from a small skylight above as if by a spotlight, and a large standing oval mirror. Its frame is made of polished brass, and its undulating glass surface is reminiscent of ripples in a pond, very similar to the Grove of Atonement. quietly, Titus closes the door behind you, and you are left alone in this room. What do you do?
I hesitate for a few moments and I start to walk to the mirror.
Okay.
And I'll square off with it, glaring at it. Like it's a challenge. I will, from under my sleeve, I'll pull out a very janky, banged up looking gold bracelet that has a very badly shaped watermelon tourmaline in it. Deepest regret. I am scared that my existing, me being born as I am, me being as I am the reason and have caused Dawn's life to be as hard and as painful as it has been.
As you say these words, the surface of the mirror ripples and you hear a voice. It is clear, like singing crystal, resonant, and the waves on the rippling mirror move concentrically in time with the words you hear.
But does this is a fear, not a regret.
I regret being born.
Dusk, that is not something you had control over. This fear you have, that you have made your sister's life harder by being the way you are. Is it truly a fear? Or do you know that it is true?
I know that it is true.
That is a regret. Thank you for speaking it. I can only offer you a way to acknowledge and heal, but I cannot force it upon you.
I understand.
Do you wish to be absolved of this regret?
Yes.
Then,
because that would help her.
Then know the truth. You are who you are because she is who she is. Both of you complement, lift up, guide, and energize each other. You do not need this regret, Dusk. Let it go.
Do you?
Almost fighting against it for a moment, but then a deep sigh, and let it go.
As you let this regret change the negative connotation that it has colored so much of your life with fades. And you feel welling up from within you this power, whereas the others have felt the power pushed on them or beamed into them. You feel this one growing from within. It comes up from somewhere deep within you, as if your soul is spreading actual wings and flying to a new, lighter state of being. Do you have any negative effects going on right now? And are you poisoned, exhausted, anything of that nature?
No, just her
All right.
disposition.
Can't greater restore you from that. You're stuck with that one. But the feeling of airiness within you fades. You could see your reflection in the mirror. You have a slight teal, luminous quality to your eyes now. Your personality need not have changed, but I invite you to contemplate what true acceptance of this truth, as far as your relationship with your sister is concerned, might do for you. Letting go of a regret like this can be incredibly cathartic.
Yeah.
So, that leaves just one.
Though, as I
go ahead.
exit the room and I see the group, I just walk over and without any hellos or highs, just hugs Dom.
Oh. Are you okay?
Yes, and then hug is over.
Okay. Jarring, but okay. I'll take it. Unprompted hug. I love it.
That's like hug number 6.
Yeah.
The episode where Dawn gets all the hugs.
Yeah, all the hugs for Dawn.
Oh, man.
It's Dawn's best day.
So, at this point, I would say that the group has reconvened. All of you having gone on your little adventures. All of you, except for one of you, now bearing noticeably glowing eyes.
I feel a little bit envious right now that all of you guys are glowing a little bit and I'm not.
I'm sure you'll be soon.
Yeah.
We could cast light on you.
Or maybe a little inspiration.
Ooh.
Huh?
It's fine. I can do this.
Of course you can.
You absolutely can.
And we will head towards Xavier and the domain of envy.
Xavier, god of purgation and envy.
Purgation is a word.
Look it up.
As I look it up.
Google purge.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Google, what does purgation mean?
Oh, okay.
How everyone knows.
A vicar.
So,
Okay.
Xavier's temple, very simple in design, is single solid dome of black opal. The architecture is an apt representation of the works that Xavier and his followers conduct. Let's say in the time you were waiting for folks, you took a little time to learn something about Xavier. What he does primarily is he governs the sealing of rifts in reality that would otherwise serve as gateways for untold terrors that come from the void. So, only fitting that his temple is a solid, airtight structure, without any openings except for one, a single circular door of solid white stone, 15 feet in diameter, behind which is a tunnel that stretches through 30 feet of solid stone. Once inside, as you pass through it, there are 3 stone doors that secure this passage into the temple itself. One at the outer end, one at the inner end, and one in the middle. Dawn, you were able to find out that all 3 doors are never opened at the same time. However, as you approach this doorway, you can see straight through to the inside. At first, there are no signs of anyone or any disturbance, but when you enter into the tunnel, you start to hear muffled shouting from the interior. What do?
I hear muffled shouting from a door, through a door I can see.
You can see all the way down the tunnel. It's quite a ways, but you can see into what appears to be a large hall. You can hear shouts and screaming coming from there.
I would head towards that.
All right. I assume the entire group goes as well.
Absolutely.
Any precautions?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So, the moment you step inside the chamber, frantic shouts and eerie shrieks assault your ears. There are dozens of robed figures here. You can see them darting between columns, looking upward with looks of terror on their faces. Amongst the panic masses, you see a trio that stands out, clad in what you now come to recognize as the red cloaks of the accursed guard. It quickly becomes clear what everyone is focused on. 30 feet up in the air, hovering between the columns like some bizarre balloon, is an impossible horror. The exact shape of the creature is difficult to discern, as its skin appears to be mostly translucent, while its form swells and contracts constantly. You see numerous mouths all over the bulbous form of it, and tentacles. Thousands of tentacles growing, squirming, writhing all over its body. You see the reddish-purple nervous system stretching beneath its translucent hide, and you see half of these tentacles appear to end in a single hooked claw of black bone, while the others end in small mouths filled with sharp, blackened teeth. And as you gaze at it, you hear one of the accursed guard says, "See, brothers, see what they've kept locked away for themselves. Now its power shall be..." As one of these tentacles comes down and grabs a hold of this man, pulls him up into the air, and another tentacle comes and devours him whole, his body moving into the mouth. Watch as it distends the tentacle as it passes through the length of it, all the way back to the main form. Behold, Rapax Incarnatus. This will be where we end our session.
Oh no!
As the group prepares to do battle over this hall.
It's an evil Pokemon. That is terrifying.
Oh my god.
It's like Sonic the Hedgehog did
Can I
like
give-
a pound of cocaine. Like,
Can I give a speech instead? It's terrifying.
Try it. Try it and see what
Absolutely.
happens.
I have new
thanks.
regrets that we could explore.
Thanks for coming to your dead talk.
yeah, yeah.
Everyone, I love you all so much. What a fantastic session.
It's okay, I got all my
thank you.
hugs.
Thank you so much for being awesome.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Everyone, Storytellers Forge is a fantastic group of very talented writers. They are the creators of this amazing module. You should definitely check it out if you are enjoying it here. There's, excuse me, there's so much more to tell. Looking forward to all of it. If you are wondering what else they have, well, wonder no more. They have Festivals of the Forgotten, Revelations of the Dark Carnival, as well as novels and other works that are set in this same universe or universe adjacent. The music you've been listening to is by the incredible Dia Morte that is led by Drake. This music both written for and inspired by this module, and it kicks all the ass. If you like the character art that you've been seeing, then you have the wonderful Kai to thank for that. All of us here have our various projects going on, so all of that is listed in the chat as well. If you are looking for a professional dungeon master, then please consider me as a potential choice for that. If you're looking for amazing theater, then please check out the Ohio Shakespeare Festival in Ohio. If you are interested in listening to more of me and more of Samus, our fantastic podcast, Echoes of Kryn, Dragons of the Hidden Flood, is available for you. If you feel like blowing things up, then check out World of Tanks, where you will get to see some of the things that Soku has been working on. And if you need somebody to do math at an incredibly fast rate, making all the rest of us feel kind of stupid,
I'm an accountant.
Yes. And more than that, she is an incredible role player and game player, and this is the only place where you will be able to see her doing it on stream.
Facts.
That's it from me. Everybody, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you next time.